Hi, my name is Tova Brandt and I'm the Executive Director of the Museum of Danish America. And today I get to talk about the faces of Bjørn Wiinblad. Bjørn Wiinblad was a Danish artist, best known for ceramic work, although he did a lot of poster art, tapestry design, textile design, theater design, and had a long career that spanned from the 1940s into the early years of the 21st century. So there's a lot of different things that we can look at. One thing that is almost always recognizable from a Bjørn Wiinblad work is how he draws faces. And this is a really good example. This is a large platter. It's dated 1962. This is a platter that he probably painted himself. He had a large team of co-workers in his studio, and so that can't be said about all of his work, but this has his signature on the back and his date. And it's definitely his style. Bjørn Wiinblad faces all have certain things in common. A triangle nose, and almond-shaped eyes. And those you see repeated over and over again, whether something is hand-painted like this, or if it's a more mass-produced item, like these calendar plates. These were mass-produced by the factory Nymølle in Denmark, and they were made by the thousands. They became very popular collectibles. There was a different design for each of the 12 months, so you could collect all 12. Here again, you can see in the faces triangle noses and almond-shaped eyes. So how do we explain Wiinblad faces that look a little weird? These are other examples of Bjørn Wiinblad faces. It's a triangle nose, perhaps a little exaggerated. It's maybe almond-shaped eyes, but they're kind of buggy. Frankly, this is just weird. And we love them because what this is, when we look at the bottom, we can see that it's signed by Bjørn Wiinblad, but it also has the mark of the Nymølle factory. This was who he collaborated with for all of those single-color detailed transfer printed ceramics. This is dated 1950, which is quite early in his career. I think the best way to understand this weird head is that Wiinblad is experimenting. He's trying to figure out how best to translate his style into 3 dimensions. And the Nymølle collaboration is a way to explore those things. Here they've explored that same exaggerated triangle nose, kind of buggy eyes, and they've decided to make handles out of the ears, which to my mind is not a very fortunate outcome. But they're also experimenting with all these extra details. This hat that becomes the cork on this jug. The idea of using a decorative hat on the top of a vase is something that Wiinblad would later do in his personal studio with the artists that worked by hand. And so what we see here in these pieces that are dated 1950 and 1951 is early experimentations as Bjørn Wiinblad is still figuring out how best to realize his artistic vision with different collaborators. So we are thrilled to have these in our museum collection to provide more of a context for all of the work of Bjørn Wiinblad.